Speaking of Mary, she texted me.
Oh, I was like, yes.
Tonight. wait, there's more. She texted me, and she finished the second book in the series that I peer pressured her to watch.
Of your dragon stuff?
That's right. She finished Iron Flame, and now she's on to the third one, which is Onyx Storm, which is the one that I got on my birthday, or the day before my birthday, or whatever. It just, like, came out more recently. And she goes, you know, I gotta say, like, I really like how there's, like, you know, it's fantasy, but it's really like a romance. And I was like, yes, Mary. It's called romantasy. And I was like, and once you're in it,
is it really
you're never leaving. That's the name of the genre.
It's called
romantasy.
romantasy?
Yeah, romantic fantasy.
I mean, is that all romance? Okay.
I mean, certainly for me in my life, yeah. Yeah. And I was like, girl, and she goes, I'm trying to get my friends to read it now too. I was like, good, spread the word.
Wow.
I've got her next series lined up too. So, Bridge, I'm just saying, if you want to join in.
I really can't.
But
But
you did like Dragonheart. Remember Dragonheart, Bridge?
Uh-huh, but
okay.
You know, I find I like the movies of those things. I get a little like lost in my imagination, and then I've like lost the plot because I'm too focused on like what the castle looks like in my brain. So they're not for me. I like more of the like really character psychological ones. But that's not to shit on yours, so that sounds lovely.
Well,
and Mary obviously is enjoying it.
The first book of this series is being made into an Amazon Prime TV show.
I'm ready to watch it.
I was going to say, when that comes out, we'll get you watching, get you into it.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hello there.
Welcome back, listeners.
Ejector seat.
Ejector seat. That's my favorite line. And I wrote down like other ones too for this movie. Welcome. We are not children
Tom
in
Hanks.
adult bodies. Or Tom Hanks. Yeah. We're neither of those. But I'm going to introduce ourselves so you know who we are. So, listeners, we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And goodbye, Mr. Spaulding! That was another line I wrote down. That's the earlier one in the movie there. Wow, Bridge, what's the movie?
It is from 1988, starring Tom Hanks. Big.
Wow, he's big.
It is.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow is a word.
Wow. I still loved it. Did you?
I was going to say, I do still love it. I think it's funny.
It's really funny. Tom Hanks delivers, but I also looked at things like, huh. Like, I looked at them a little different.
Yeah.
And I do know it is your synopsis.
It is.
You can't confuse me. You can't trick me. Okay? It's yours.
I don't think I tricked you last time, but we'll find out when I go to editing. Okay. All right. So, listeners, our main character is named Josh. When you meet Josh, he is I think he's technically 12 when the movie starts, and then he has a birthday in the middle of the movie, so then he's kind of 13. He's middle school, all right? Loves baseball, has a best friend named Billy.
Yeah.
You know, they're kids, and they goof around, and they joke, and they kind of are like, ooh, girls, but they don't know what's happening, and so they don't, like, care as much, and they're still just like, sports are fun. You're like, cute. But you know what, Bridge? It's not fun being a kid, okay? Because you got chores, and parents who love you, and make you breakfast every day, and you gotta share a room with your baby sister, and I guess that's annoying. And he has this moment where he's at a carnival and he tries to go on like The Ring of Fire, I feel like, is the name of this ride, where you just go in a big upside-down circle. That's so scary. Horrifying. And he's like, I'm going to go on it because this girl that I think is cute is going to go on it. And then lo and behold, he gets up there and it's public embarrassment. And some fucking man is like, you're too short, bitch. Get out of my line. And it's a whole thing. And he's sad and wah. He hates being a kid. And wouldn't you know it, he finds a Zoltar machine. It's not like a game. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. You basically just...
Like a wish machine.
Yeah, like a wish machine. He pays $0.25, and then he has to, like, put it in the thing's mouth, and then he makes a wish, and then he gets a little card, and the card's like, your wish is granted. And he's like, that's crazy. But then he finds out the machine was unplugged. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Fox Mulder would have been on this shit in a second, okay? I'm just saying, we could have avoided this whole thing. So lo and behold, he goes home, goes to bed, whatever, life's still sad, he's a kid. Well, guess what? He wakes up, and he's not a kid. Now he's Tom Hanks.
Oh my God.
And I think he's supposed to be like, I guess like 30.
Yeah, he's 30.
He's 30. Okay, so he's like, and he, it's Tom Hanks, and he's like, whoa. And he does figure it out pretty quickly, via looking in a mirror. And then basically has this whole experience where his mom doesn't recognize him. His best friend at first doesn't recognize him, but then he can convince him. And now he's like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? And his friend Billy goes, don't worry. Let's go to New York City where we don't live. That is far away. I'm going to leave you alone. You're going to stay by yourself in a hotel room, and we'll figure it out later. Bye.
Damn.
And we do that.
Damn.
And, I mean, at first they're trying to find, like, where all the Zoltar machines are because the carnival, like, packed up in a night and it was gone. And that's a whole thing. It's like they got to wait, like, over a month, whatever. So Josh is like, what do? I'm Tom Hanks. And then Billy's like, get a job. He's like, okay. And gets a job at a toy factory. Or company, not factory. Mm-hmm. This is very business. I have a lot of business corporate questions for you, Bridge. Yeah. And he kind of starts off doing computers, but then he gets to know the owner of the company, and the owner of the company is like, wow, you like playing with toys. I'm not going to think it's weird at all. Get on up here and be a vice pres and product development. Bridge, I thought of you.
Yeah, that's my life.
And, it's crazy. And then there's a subplot where one of the coworkers is a lady. Her name is Susan.
Yeah.
Susan. We're going to talk about Susan, but this is what
not
happens.
Having great luck.
This is what happens with Susan. Susan and Tom Hanks get a little, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, get a little close, if you will. And then eventually he's like, I can't keep it up anymore. I gotta be honest. I'm a child. And she's like, I don't believe you. And nobody believes him. And he's like, at first he kind of is like, yeah, I'm going to stay as an adult. And then his friend gets mad at him. And then he's like, no, I'm a kid. Gotta go to that Zoltar machine that we finally found out about and not be a kid. And then in the end, he does, kiss the lady, and then she drives him home after he does Zoltar again, and he does turn into a 13-year-old boy, and the therapy that's gonna come from all this, it's just too much to handle. I don't know. But he goes home and his mom is happy, and we assume he is too. So
holy cow. I was listening to that thinking like, damn, this is kind of long-winded, Katie, but that's the movie. That's the movie.
Yeah.
It is carried by Tom Hanks being funny.
Very, very much so.
He is the reason this works. I think his like silly lines and the fact that he's just so like flippant about his like cluelessness that it's just delivered consistently well. Looking back on this, I remember, when you suggested it, thinking, oh, the weird, creepy subplot of the 12-year-old boy stuck in a adult body, and that's going to be creepy. And, sure, it's creepy, but that actually didn't distract me as much as the horror film of his poor mother.
Oh, my God.
Who doesn't know where her fucking kid is, and then he's sending her letters like he's in camp. Like, hey, Mom, everyone's treating me fine.
We got some Camp Nowhere shit going on here.
And then her fucking neighbor's like, it'll be okay, Mrs. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is a horror movie for her.
There were not enough police called. Again, get Fox Mulder and Scully in here. We would have solved this whole thing. Because another thing that happens in this fucking movie is like, Josh becomes big, but he continues to use his same first and last name.
I know.
So there's a wanted, like, missing child, and it's the same first and last name, and he's like, now I'm the president, CEO of this product development toy thing. And I'm like, is anyone gonna connect dots? Nobody? Nobody's connecting?
But didn't he change his last name to be like Thatcher?
No. Oh, wait, I thought he used the same one.
I thought he like changed his last name, but his first name was the same, and that I thought was weird.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. He's supposed to be 12.
Yeah.
And then when he's big, he turns 13.
He feels like pre-puberty 12.
Like is that appropriate for all the 12-year-olds you know? Did you feel like he acted that? Okay.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, I don't know, most of them are not, they don't care about like dating, but they're kind of like, girls are cool. If they like girls, they're like, girls are cool. But it's more of like, let's just be silly and like play around and ride our bikes. I mean, also this was the 80s, listeners, so we don't have cell phones, we don't have, I don't know if we have the internet, because he's playing like a computer game when the movie started, and I had questions, because like, how much money did that cost at that time? I'm just saying. He had to share a room with his sister, and
well, sadly, these are the 80s, Katie. So the average family who doesn't have a fancy job can afford nice shit.
Okay.
And then
credit cards were a thing.
This generation ruined it. That generation ruined it. But
goodbye, Mr. Spaulding.
The other star of the show is the best friend Billy, played by Jared Rushton.
He's great.
So great. And he was in a lot of other movies, right? As a kid? Because he looks very familiar.
So, for whatever reason, the only movie I'm thinking of is he was in Pet Sematary 2. And I know you haven't seen that.
Well,
so
I was thinking
so sorry.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, yeah! We did that movie. So I should have remembered that.
I was thinking that. I did not know about Pet Sematary.
The second one, not the first one.
I loved him in frickin' Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but I don't know. I thought he was in more, but I guess not. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at
Tales from the Dark TV show.
The other thing very, very jarring about this movie is, Tom Hanks is like a baby. He was 32 when he played this. And when you see his face, you're like, oh my God, what a little baby. Because, what is he now, in his 60s? Like...
probably.
He's 68.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Let's go. What are we going? What are we saying? Okay, let's go. The space goes down, down, baby, down the road. Sweet, sweet, baby, sweet, sweet, don't let me go.
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa puff, shimmy, shimmy,
shimmy, shimmy, rock. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop, shimmy, shimmy, rock. I met a girlfriend, a Triscuit. She said a Triscuit, a biscuit, ice cream, soda pop, vanilla on top. Ooh, Shelly's out, walking down the street 10 times a week.
God.
I read it, I said it, I stole my mama's credit. I'm cool, I'm hot, suck me in the stomach 3 more times. Here's the thing.
Wow.
If you and I don't have some sort of handshake,
we talked about this.
We won't know who's an alien. We won't know who's become an adult or is a kid. We won't know these things. And Katie, if we don't have a secret handshake code, whatever, we're fucked. What is it?
We have talked about this before. I feel like we should just sing our Sisters Who've Seen It theme song.
I will remember that.
I'll remember that too. So that could work. And then we could make up a dance.
Mom's versions? Like Sisters.
Shooby-dooby-doo. Yeah, with the harmonizing and everything. Okay. Oh, or I'll be like, Bridget, in episode 18, when we discussed this, do you remember? And then
I'll be like, remember, no.
Yeah, but they like when you meet Josh and Billy, they're
cute.
They're cute, they're best buds, they're living life, and, it's like, okay, he's kind of like, being a kid, there's some pitfalls, gotta take out the trash, and I have a bunk bed, and I'm like, bunk beds are cool. I'm just saying. Top bunk.
Had that in college.
Yeah, I remember. And him and his parents go to a carnival. Again, I'm like, you got nice parents. Your parents love you. They're bringing the whole family to a carnival. This is really fucking adorable. And he's literally like, life sucks because I'm sure And it is a little public humiliation by the carnival ride operator. Don't know why we needed to do that to the 12-year-old, but we did. He literally was like, get out of my line and let the tall kids through. I was like, Jesus.
Which, by the way, so the girl he's got a crush on is rocking a Deb from Napoleon Dynamite side pony.
Absolutely an 80s girl.
I don't actually think she is tall enough, but her side pony makes her tall enough.
The pony was a bump.
That was unfair. However, he also learned that she was in line with a guy who could drive. Katie, let's talk about the inappropriateness of that. That's a 16, 17-year-old hanging out with a 12-year-old.
I think she was older, though, because they did say she was an older sister of a kid in their grade.
Got it. Okay, because it was pretty cute when Billy was like, she's totally crushing on you. She's totally crushing on you.
That felt so 12-year-old to me.
That makes me feel better than if she wasn't 12. So she was probably like 15.
Yeah?
Okay.
Probably.
So he's pissed, though, because this is like, he got hopes because Billy's like, confirmed it. She totally is crushing you. And then he's at the fair and he's like, holy shit, mom and dad, get out of here. This is my moment. He busts through the line and then gets totally embarrassed. And this is what makes him say, I want to be big.
Yeah, and he's like, you know what I need to do right this moment after my public humiliation? I gotta go to that Zoltar machine. It's darkened and scary and in the shadows. And Bridge, I know you haven't seen this fucking movie, but one day you need to watch this movie because it is really good. It's Jordan Peele's movie, Us.
Ooh.
And it has, in the beginning, this whole scene where they're at a carnival and there's some freaky shit happening there. And I'm just saying, we all think carnivals are fun. But, like, careful what's in the shadows, okay? I'm just saying.
Okay.
Anyway. So Zoltar's scary is the moral of the story.
Have you ever been to San Francisco?
No.
Okay. On, like, a famous pier there is this machine. Like,
I saw this machine in L.A.
I was just going to say, it may not be the actual machine, but it is, whatever, supposed to be, like, homage to the movie.
Mom took a picture with it.
My brain was like, oh, we're in San Francisco, because this is where I saw it, and we're in San Francisco, and then he has, like, he goes to the carnival with his bike, and he sees the big bridge, and then when all of a sudden Billy's like, we gotta get to the city, and then they're in New York, I'm like, this motherfucker went cross-country? So this is crazy!
You sound like me, where I'm like, what is maps, you know?
And then I was like,
geography?
Oh, we were in New Jersey. Okay.
I wonder what part of New Jersey they were in, though. Because I'm like, y'all are taking, like, the bus in there. Like, how long? And then Billy just keeps going to the city by himself, and nobody knows.
I was thinking, first of all, okay, I know we gotta, like, do this thing chronologically where he wishes he's big.
He wishes he's big. He wakes up, he's Tom Hanks. Somehow the tighty-whities still fit. Riddle me that. Nobody can. Fine.
He is so fucking funny when he gets up and, like, not believes that he's big. I gotta tell you, Katie, the older I get, I think this just happens to everybody.
Where you look in the mirror and you hide because you're like, that's somebody else in my bathroom. So scary.
Mom has said this to me. She was like, Bridget, I look in the mirror. It's not me. That's my face, but that's not me.
Oh my God.
She's like, I am not that old. Like, I don't know who that is. And I'm like, Mom, I really believe you. But as I get older, I understand what she means. Because you look in the mirror and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, look, I got hit by a bus, you know? Anywho, he does that. And I'm thinking what he was thinking, which is, holy crap, my mom can't see me.
Yes.
Because this ain't good, and what's gonna happen? And thank God he wasn't that dumb. And he was like, I gotta get my dad's clothes and get out of here. He got out of there.
He tries to go back to Zoltar, because at least we connected that, where he was like, oh, I guess it was that machine about that wish I made. And the carnival's gone, so that sucks. Rode his bike all the way there. And now he's like, let me ride my bike to school to find Billy.
Oh my God.
Billy's also getting bullied by everybody in the gym class and the gym teacher. So many questions, none of them answered. And then this is where
the 80s. Bully kids were on
everybody's getting bullied.
In the 80s. Yeah.
And he locks them in a room together, and then he sings their song so that he knows it. And Billy, radical acceptance.
Loved it.
He's just like, oh, Josh, it's you. There you are. And then he goes, you look terrible.
He was so funny.
So I laughed really hard at that. Oh my God. But he's just like, I'm here for you, man. Like, we're going to figure it out together.
So, okay, wait. Little pin real quick. This movie was actually written by Annie Spielberg with the intent that Steven Spielberg would direct it, and it was really with the thought that Harrison Ford would play big.
That's
all
weird.
of that didn't work out, obviously. Penny Marshall got the script.
We love Penny.
And the other weird thing is at the time when this movie came out, like a bunch of these like age movies came out.
Oh, like, well, there was Freaky Friday.
Well, we're talking 80s, so you probably don't even like know these movies, but they all like this was like a thing.
Yeah.
And I think what they did right is if Billy also lost his best friend, you know, like his mom, it wouldn't be fun to watch. You'd be like,
yeah.
I literally kept thinking like, what about Billy? Like he's gonna lose his best friend.
And he's already getting bullied at gym class, so it's not looking good. There's no upstanders for him.
And then you're like, oh, JK, it's like actually kind of fun and silly because he gets like adult money and he gets to like party with his buddy. And that's like, and everyone thinks it's his son and that's funny. You know, so that was a good choice. And I liked that. Or else the movie would have been like really sad and dark.
Yeah, and Billy's just like, all right, get your shit. We're gonna go to New York because Josh tries to go home and confront his mom and does not go well. I mean, Bridge, what would you do? What would you do if a 30-year-old woman came in your home and was like, I'm your daughter, baby Kate, but I'm big. And believe me,
well,
like,
it makes you really think, like, I gotta have some secret family passwords.
You need the passwords.
I gotta have some handshakes. I gotta have, like, what do I say to you every night? I mean, that cracked me up, too, when she was like, ask Josh what I used to sing with him as a kid. And then Tom Hanks was like, anything else?
Yeah, it's like, anything, please, no.
I felt so bad for her. And then, I don't know, I think... I was actually thinking the opposite, like, could we convince mom if we were kids and we were adults? Like, no way. Mom would be like, no fucking way. Get out of here.
Get out of here. She might grab the knife like this mom did. Because I was kind of like, I mean, because she basically was like, you kidnapped my son. Yeah. So now I'm going to shank you. And I was like,
fair.
It is fair. So Josh does leave, does not get stabbed. And yeah, him and Billy go to New York City, and it's 80s New York City, so that's something to think about. And they get a scary hotel room for $17 a night.
I can't. And I was doing the math. His paycheck was $189.
That would only be 10 days of a hotel room.
So the only reason he's able to do this is Billy is funding his lifestyle. Talk about a best friend.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah,
he packed him a bag of his dad's stuff. He found him a hotel. He visits him every day. That is a ride or die best friend.
Well, that's what I'm like, how far away did we live? Like, are we like...
let's look this up.
Like, what part of New Jersey were we in? You know, are you basically New York? Or are
True.
I don't know.
Cliffside, New Jersey.
I don't know where that is.
Oh my God, it literally gives the address. Let's see how far this is to St. James Motel.
Good. St. James. It's like a church. It's all good. It's like, oh my God, it's this nastiest hotel. There's scary sheets. I would not sleep on that mattress. I'm scared. There was a sink in the room, but it's not a bathroom. So like, what?
Hotel St. James, West 45th Street. Okay, this is pretty close.
Oh.
We got about a 30-minute car ride.
Okay.
And we have about an hour train ride.
Well, they took the bus, so...
I'm sorry, the bus... I don't see a bus, but...
bus would be car, right?
Yeah, sure. So about 30 minutes. Not bad. So it's pretty close.
Okay, that makes more sense, because I was just like, Billy... You're visiting often, and like you're the one always going to him. Like he's never going to you.
Which he goes, it was such a throwaway line, but he's like, I'll just tell my parents I made the basketball team. And I'm like, so every day, this kid after school, this little bean sprout is going into scary New York City, into this scary area to say hey, and then leaving at night. Excuse me, basketball practice is like an hour.
I hated that. And especially the first night, because then Billy's just like, anyway, see ya. And Josh's like, you're leaving me here by yourself? And I was like, No. The question should be, Billy's leaving by himself at nighttime alone? And yeah, we all just did that. And oh man, it was not good.
Again, Billy comes in strong where he's like, listen, let's go use a library.
Yeah.
We don't have the internet. We don't know how to figure out this effing machine. And he goes, I guarantee the New York City Archival Library or something is going to have it. And the woman is like, it will take you 6 weeks. And this is what kind of creates the like, all right, you're stuck in adult. They're like, there's no other way to find this machine. You're stuck as an adult.
Right.
And Billy's like, well, you got to get a job. Billy is a goddamn evil genius.
Is Billy the adult? Because in a lot of ways, I think he is.
Billy's the adult. He goes through different things, and that was the only look back to the computer game in the beginning, which was why Tom Hanks was like, computer stuff. I want to do computer stuff.
Yeah,
so I think it was less a video game that was fancy and more just like,
we have to type.
We have to tie together how he's going to get this random ass job.
He knew that QWERTY keyboard, you know what I'm saying? Kids today don't know the QWERTY.
In this day and age, 1988, you circle a job in the paper.
Yeah.
Then you call up and they say, sure, come in for an interview. They just let you in, and then you make up a resume and print it. That's about the same now. And then they just hire you on the spot. That's not the same. Okay.
It was very don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
Absolutely.
It was very like,
I'll be right on that, Rose.
I just wrote on this piece of paper, made up shit, don't ask questions.
Absolutely.
And in his interview, like, the guy was like, where'd you go to school? And he said something about like George Washington, but I think that was like the elementary school. And he was like, oh, GW. And he's like, did you pledge there? And then Josh goes, yes, every morning. I was like, oh my God, it's amazing.
Also, John Lovitz is his coworker.
John Lovitz, you son of a bitch. And he tells Josh, he's like, stop working so hard, because Josh literally gets in, he types one thing, and John Lovitz is like, hey, relax. All right, Jesus. Slow down. And then Josh's like, sorry, I don't know what's happening.
My God. But can I tell you?
Oh my God.
I want to talk corporate stuff, because...
Please do, because I was just like, I bet this is all real life.
This is real life. So
I figured, yeah.
This is actually good stuff. Okay, so the head of the company is Mr. Macmillan, okay?
Right, Macmillan Toys.
Macmillan Toys. And he runs into, Tom Hanks, but is just like, way to hustle, because, you know, he's, like, being delayed by Elizabeth Perkins, a.k.a. Susan, and then John Hurd, who's Paul, and they're supposed to be, like, dating, and, you know, he's also like, who is this guy? When, like, he starts, because he sees him at FAO Schwartz, which was a big giant. You remember that as a kid? That was like a big, massive, huge, massive thing.
I think it's still open.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
He is like, I come here every Saturday, and then he sees Tom Hanks having a blast with like random fucking kids, which is so funny. I literally believe that a CEO like does go into their stores or some sort of toy store or whatever, and if he sees an employee, I guarantee he'd be like, you know what? You're a go-getter. You're like me researching on a Saturday. I'm going to promote you. And then when he has like actually interesting ideas, like he knows everything about the toys, I think in the CEO's mind, he's like, you've done your homework. You've done your research. You're into the minds of kids, and you know your market. And so like it is really fucking funny, because he really does know, like, what people would actually want, you know?
Well, and there was a lot of talk, which I'm sure this is also real life, of this whole idea of how, like, oh, but we did all this market research to see what people are interested in, and the research shows this. But then, like, Josh is like, yeah, but, like, that's dumb. And, like, just talk to people. And they're like, oh, crazy. I'm like, that's definitely real life. And not just in, like, corporate. I feel like that's, like, the case in a lot of fields of
I mean, I'm Tom Hanks at companies. I'm like,
you're
have
like,
we talked to real people?
Yeah. Who's the real name? Say their first and last name, or else I don't believe you. Yeah.
But I'm like, wait, did you like actually ask people? Like, that, did you actually see if they wanted this? And Katie, the answer, like, 70% of the time is no.
No. It's a big old NO, yeah.
So dumb. People are lazy. Anywho,
well,
so that part
I
loved because I was nerding out.
I do, the floor piano scene is very iconic.
Oh my god, that was them. That was them.
You could tell. They don't edit. Yeah, like
one full take, and they both like practiced and crushed it. And it was like Tom Hanks practiced with like keyboard or cardboard piano keys at his house or something.
That's cute.
Yeah.
And that's really what seals the deal. Is the guy's like, well, now you're going to be, his official title is Vice President of Product Development.
It's basically what I do.
That's what Bridget does in real life. Folks. Bridget did a piano rendition at a toy store.
Absolutely.
And got hired. And John Hurt is a character in this movie. I don't know his character's name, but yeah, he's like kind of with Elizabeth Perkins, and he right off the bat is like, what the fuck? Like, I don't like that guy. No way. And then at first Elizabeth Perkins' character, Susan, is like, yeah, I don't get it either. Like, I tried to call these companies to see like where he came from, but like nobody's heard of him. And I was like, if you guys just check the white pages, the missing
Look
children.
At your milk box, Carton.
Look at the milk box. You'll find them. But they never figure that out because they're really fucking dumb. And yeah, I mean, the next couple scenes I feel like are just him being at the toy company. And there was that scene where they're like, here's a transformer that is a building. And then it turns into a robot. And Josh is like, I don't get it. And John Hurt's like, what don't you get? Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. How dare you?
Oh my God.
And this, I do imagine, is probably how a corporate meeting goes, because I'm sure that most people don't often outwardly challenge somebody's idea, especially the white men. You know, we all know how that cookie crumbles. So kind of loved that. I was like, yeah, man, ask those questions. Ask those Transformer toy questions. And he's like, why can't it be a bug? And everyone's like, oh, let's make it a bug. Great idea. I was like, oh my God. This is so crazy.
I mean, it is like, I don't know, I kind of believed him. I'm like, yeah, it does seem boring. It's just a building.
It's just a building, John Hurt. Okay, figure it out. And then, yeah, he gets a sick, obviously, pay raise from this position, and he gets a really awesome apartment. How much do you think that apartment right now in New York City costs per month?
At least $30,000 a month.
I thought so as well. Yeah, it was really big.
What I thought you were going to take like a little beat as he got a new office and secretary who is Kitty from that 70s show.
Oh my God, yes.
And she is quite annoyed by how absurd he is. And
she is so
I love her.
Young in this movie. Like, I'm like, oh my God, you're not like a housewife at all.
She's so young.
Yeah, and she doesn't like talk too much, but if you pay attention, you're like, oh my God, that's her. It's crazy.
I know. Hysterical.
But yes. I have a note here, and let's ask it out loud for you and me and the listeners. The moral question is Susan a predator? And what I mean by that is, she doesn't know he's a kid.
Okay.
But she does know that he got a big old pay raise and starts to kind of be like, hey, how you doing?
And Paul, who's the jealous other VP, calls her out for sleeping with everybody. Yeah. And so, like, I think that's her pattern. I mean, she got made fun of at the party because the CEO, when she's like, yeah, what do you think of that line? And he's like, it's a fucking party, have a drink. And so she kind of seems like a climber.
She's trying to climb.
I think, though, once she is talking to him, she's actually like a nice, lovely person and is not trying to like do any of that, but likes to be around people on the up. So yes, I think she is. I think she had a little opportunistic opinions.
Yeah, there was an agenda, and this is where we get ejector seat, because this company car just has limos.
Oh my God.
On the ready.
I can't.
Anyone can hop in. Is that real life?
I can't.
I don't know. And she's like, bring me to your place. And then that's where she goes in. At his apartment, he has, I mean, there's toys all over.
It's awesome.
Which should have been clue number one of like, this might not be a 30-year-old man. A full Pepsi machine, which I was like, I could use that.
So cool.
Make it
cool
a
is
Diet
that?
Pepsi and I'm in there. I'm in it to win it.
Seltzers all day. Give me a spindrift machine.
Oh my God, that would be so good. He has a full-size trampoline. I mean...
Equally awesome.
Amazing. Bunk beds.
Basketball
hoops. He had like skateboards. He had a skateboard ramp. And I just was like, what a time to be alive.
I mean, if you really think about I literally was looking around my house, like, why am I such a boring adult? Like, why can't I?
Why don't you have an indoor trampoline? You still could.
I was like, why don't I have a basketball hoop? You know?
Well, I don't live in a big space, personally, for all that. But
yeah, me
if
either.
I had limitless money, like Tom Hanks presumably does in this, who knows, you know? You know what I've always wanted if I ever got, like, actually rich and could afford things? The one stupid thing I would get is I would love to have a giant fish tank that was the size of a wall. Wouldn't that be cool? Like an aquarium, you know? Mean, like,
it's
just in, like, one
tracks.
room. Like,
I love that. That
love
it's very, I'm getting, like, Ace Ventura flashbacks.
Okay.
I feel like there's a scene of, like, a place like that. Yep. That reminds me also of a dentist office. I love it. Do it.
Yes, but basically, Susan and Josh, they don't do anything because Josh is literally 12. And he's like, good night, bunk beds, I'm on top, you're on the bottom.
When she was like, hey, are you sure you want to do this before they go into the apartment? And he was like, what do you mean? And she's like, have me stay over. And he's like, a sleepover?
A sleepover?
And he was like, okay, but I'm on top. And then he gets right into the apartment.
My God.
I'm like, these are gold. This is gold
so
writing.
Good.
Yeah.
So fucking good. And then I guess the next day, John Hurd is like, man, I'm jealous because my girlfriend literally left a party with another man.
Ouch.
That's weird. And I'm gonna bully Tom Hanks via paddleball.
Oh my God.
And it gets real, Bridge. I mean...
And he's like, why did he beat me up?
Oh my God, I know. I was like, oh,
well,
Tom
the funniest
Hanks.
part was he probably wouldn't have started the fight, but Tom Hanks was a 12-year-old, and he was like, okay, my point. And he was like, oh no, it was my point. And he's like, that's not the rules. And I do imagine a real 12-year-old being like, wait, but but you said the rules were that, but that's like strong sense of justice. Like, no.
I can affirm that most middle school boys do get upset about cheating or presumed cheating.
Yeah.
Sports are very serious to the children.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Yeah. So not good. But Susan's like, all right, fuck you, John Hurd, kicking you out. We're not a thing. Go team. And now it's Josh's birthday. And Billy and him go to a cool ass Italian restaurant. Some shit out of Moonstruck, okay? Where's Cher? Let me know.
Wait a second.
I'm ready.
Follow me on this tangent that has nothing to do with the movie Big.
I'll be listening to that.
Moonstruck actual house. Amy Schumer lives in and put it up for sale. And you can go to the realtor pictures, and it's like some place in frickin' New York, and you could go literally look up the Moonstruck house that's for sale from Amy Schumer, and it's stunning. And that's my random tangent. Let's go back to Big.
Okay, I love that for Amy and us.
Let's buy it.
Just like that's what we'd buy with our big money. If we were big, we'd get that house. But they're at just this fun Italian restaurant, and they're having a great time. And it's Billy's like, Josh, it's your birthday. We got a cake. Everybody's singing. Life is good. And then Josh is like, Billy, that was the best 13-year-old birthday ever. I'm literally 30, but now I'm 13, I guess, on the inside, or whatever. And then Billy's like, all right, cool. So let's go keep hanging out. And then Josh is like, I got plans. And I was like, whoa.
I thought that was mean. I thought that was so mean.
Billy's coming to the city for you. You never go visit Billy. I mean, this is a little inequitable. Okay.
How much is he racking up in those bus train tickets,
Yeah. That's a great fucking question. And then he literally leaves 12-year-old Billy alone on the street. He doesn't know where he is. Is he near the bus? We don't fucking know.
We don't know.
And Tom doesn't care because there he goes off to hang out with Susan. And then I think that's when they bone.
I hated it.
Literally his birthday night. I think that's when they do that. And I was like,
I hated.
They didn't need to bone.
They didn't need
they
to.
The
just
big
kissed.
thing could have been a kiss. Like, it could have just been like, ooh, I kissed a girl, and that's crazy. Like, jumping to boning, I was just like, I don't know if Josh has ever, like, sat and thought about it. I don't know. Maybe he had at that point, but like,
and you're taking the comedy to like two different directions, right? Like, it's not like a raunchy comedy where he's like gonna be like, where do I put it in? You know, like it's like McLovin.
It's not like Superbad, yeah.
But then on the other hand, you know, you're also trying to make his arc into adulthood. I guess that was like his christening, so to speak, to be like, I'm busy and I have important things to do. And Billy's like, you're fucking 13, you dickhead. And so I wonder if that was why they kept it in, but I didn't think they needed it. I think he could have even just touched a boob and that would have been a big wowie for a 12-year-old. No?
There kind of was weird boob touching, and I was like, this scene is lingering.
I hated it.
I don't need that.
I didn't need that. I hated it.
And then there's like some scenes where this was very Notting Hill, where it's like, let's go to a dinner party at my friend's house. You know, he's like with Susan and he's with all these adults. And I gotta say, I have friends of mine who we've been friends from all the way down to elementary school. And now we're fucking adults. And, you know, when you're adults, you do have different types of conversations, such as, you know, have you trimmed your plants yet? You know, how often are we watering them? Anyone want to share a snake plant? It's a lot of plant talk with me and my friends. And this kind of happens with Josh, where he's like, oh, they're all talking about adult stuff. Like, have you watched a documentary? And then he's like, I guess I'll join in. And he's like trying to act more adult, basically. But then he goes and does math homework with a kid, and all the women are like, he's amazing. And I was like, the bar is low.
Well, and the one thing though I laughed about the documentary thing is, I thought this was very smart writing, is they're like, did you know there's a fourth ship? Now, it's kind of like the Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader? Because I'm like, you know, honestly, like, that's all sometimes documentaries are. It's like a bunch of adults being like, do you remember the shit we learned in 5th grade? You know? And like the actual 5th grader's like, yeah, here's like a nugget of knowledge, you know? I gotta tell you, it's pretty embarrassing because Kate, she'll be like, Mama, why is there thunder and lightning? And I'm like,
precipitation!
I'm like, okay, electrons and heat, carry the two. And so I laughed at that scene because I was like, that's pretty fucking funny. But yeah, the bar is on the floor just to like be nice to a kid. He's like the best boyfriend ever, which, let's think of the timeline. 6 weeks. Okay,
yeah,
like 6 weeks, she meets him, basically sleeps the second night, and then they're like, you know, gonna get a cabin in the woods. Like, that's pretty quick.
It's a lot. And then she is also like, hey, you should pitch like a toy idea. I'll do it with you. And this was another moment I was like, Susan, I don't know like what the agenda is, because
no, I think she had agenda stuff, but she
like
wasn't
stepping
mean
on his head.
She wasn't mean behind the scene, so I was like, well, whatever, you know?
Well, and at one point she's like, so like, what are we? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, I know he's a 13-year-old boy in the movie, but also I feel like that's how that conversation goes most times with any age man.
Any 30-year-old man?
So, yes. Where they're just like, I don't know.
To all our 30-year-old listeners that are men, can you let us know if that scene is accurate? How many times have you been asked about your situationship?
Be honest.
And then you took the newspaper and hit them and giggled, hoping you could change the subject?
Hated it.
It worked. I mean, it
worked.
Hated
it. Oh, it's the worst. I hate the third act friend breakup. I want Josh and Billy to be friends. Billy screams at Josh, and he's like, you're fucking 13. And then Billy's like, watch your language. And I was like, whoa.
Weird.
This is weird.
It's weird.
This is too much.
It's like Inception.
It's so Inception. Leonardo DiCaprio. We made another age reference with him. Josh does end up pitching a new toy idea with Susan. The toy idea is an interactive comic book basically like a choose your own adventure, but it's a comic book. I don't know how that's like very different than the computer game he was playing, because that was also like a choose your own adventure. But
I thought it was cool. It was like a tablet.
I know, but like, isn't it the same thing that he was playing on his computer?
Yeah, but you gotta be like at someone's house. You can like do this on the go.
Oh, I didn't think it was like a portable comic book. I thought it was like a digital, like.
Oh, I thought it was like take it to go, because it's like.
Oh, that would be cool.
Like a comic book, and I was like, wow, cool. Does that exist?
I don't think so.
Trademark.
I don't think that's real life. Bridget, if you pitch that, I'd like to be Tom Hanks. Just saying. So,
guys, I now work at FAO Shorts headquarters, Mattel.
Okay, stop. God. That'd be really cool, actually. Don't joke. Well, listen, Josh has an epiphany because he's like, I am a kid and I gotta go. And he did try to tell Susan he's a kid, and she was like, I'm not having it. And then he like dips. And then Susan is like, oh, it's because he's a kid. Awkward. I'm going to follow him. And Josh goes and finds the other Zoltar that Billy did all the work for, by the way. Billy's working 9 to 5 for Josh. And Susan and Billy drive and follow. He goes to Zoltar and he's like, I'm a kid, Susan. And she's like, oh, man, how old are you? Like 16? He's like 13. And she's like, ah! And I was like, you should be scared, Susan.
When she says...
cops are looking.
She literally is like, this is my luck. I'm like, take some responsibility there, okay?
Yeah,
like,
there were clues. Just use your eyeballs and look around.
Agreed.
Maybe.
Agreed.
And, well, Bridge, then, he goes back home and, yeah, she watches him literally in front of her eyeballs change into... the child. And I said it before, but the therapy upon seeing that a man that you had sex with literally reverts to a preteen
and then smiles at you in front of his mommy's waves. I mean, dead.
It's not good.
That is everyone's worst nightmare.
He did also, he was like, Susan, do you want to like be a kid with me? And she was like, absolutely not. And I was like, that's the most realistic part of the movie.
Agreed.
Right there.
And when she said it was bad enough once, I really was like, that is so true.
Yeah.
No fucking way. Rough. Like, would you do that? Would you go back to be a kid? Me either.
Ew.
Never.
Blech.
Never.
No. So, but Josh's mom is happy at least, because remember, she was literally sad and alone for a month and a half.
That poor woman with a brand new baby losing her 12-year-old son. Are you joking? Which, by the way, where the hell was the dad? The dad was just absent, but whatever.
We saw the dad once at the carnival, and then he was like, I gotta get out of here.
Like, why couldn't he be sad about his son? I don't know. It was weird.
No, Bridge. Only moms are sad about missing kidnapped sons who send you Camp Nowhere-esque letters about how much fun you're having.
I'm doing great. They're treating me really well.
He literally does say, he's like, it is like summer camp here. And I was like, you don't need to be writing the letters. Like, that's definitely doing more damage than reassurance.
Okay. Would you watch it though?
I would definitely watch it.
It's so fun, isn't it?
It's so fun.
Tom Hanks is a star. I mean,
he's so good.
He's so funny. I laughed out loud at multiple parts.
Yeah, I did too.
And it was a lot more lighthearted. Once I got over like how bad I felt for the mom, which thank God we didn't see her a lot, and how creepy it was the sex scene. Other than that, I'm like, okay, this wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh my God.
Tom Hanks. Our mom loves Tom Hanks, you know?
Oh my God. Nobody can make Maureen laugh like Tommy can. I'll tell you.
Tommy Tom. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna change up what's happening here.
Okay.
To a totally different movie.
Okay.
In a totally different decade.
Which decade?
We are going to 1992.
Oh, back to the 90s.
We have a thriller / erotic. I'm sorry to compare that with After Big. I'm so sorry.
Are we about to do a movie where Sharon Stone opens her legs? Oh my God, really? Oh no! Wait,
starring Sharon Stone.
What is
Basic Instinct?
Basic Instinct. Okay, and what's his name? What's the guy?
Michael Douglas. The man that gets all these hot women, and I don't know how or why.
I, too, have questions about that. Your mother was no Sharon Stone. That's a quote from Scream, y'all. referencing Basic Instinct.
All right.
A violent police detective investigates a brutal murder that might involve a manipulative and seductive novelist. This was like a thing in the 90s where there was like all these erotic thrillers, right?
I know, like, and I was even thinking there was another one like True
Fatal
Crime.
Attraction.
Yeah, like
that's
all
the other
of
big one.
these.
Wild Things from Pen 15.
Oh my god, I can't. So
A
sorry,
Perfect Murder,
we
Eyes
gotta
Wide
get
Shut.
there. We gotta get there to all these things, okay? We do variety, we do randomness. Did someone recommend this? I'm so sorry if you did.
I don't know if
Let's
I've
go.
ever seen this fully through.
I actually don't remember if I've seen this movie. I just know that everyone talks about Sharon Stone opening her legs and like, okay, whatever, but I don't actually know anything about the movie nor if I even saw it.
Yeah, same. We're gonna find out, I guess. So, wow. Well, Bridge.
Yeah.
Just want to say, if you, I can't really say if you became big, but maybe if we go back in time when we were like younger, and then you did become big and you came to me as an adult lady and you were like, Kitty, it's me, Bridget. I don't know what at the time I would have had you sing or do to tell me. It probably would have been something maybe referencing our brother Jimmy, because we do that a lot. But somehow I just feel like I would have believed you and I would have helped you run away to New York.
You really would have. You would have been a Billy.
I would have been, the ride or die, radical acceptance. I probably would have been like, but should we like tell someone else to like, I don't know. And then you probably would be like, no. Be like, okay, never mind.
I'd be really, really sad and I would apologize now. I think I would run from you if adult Katie came back. I'd be like, I'm scared.
Thank you, Bridge.
Well, Katie,
great.
If you... And I got past that and I did do radical acceptance and we were best friends and it was your 13-year-old birthday party. If you were like, listen, all I want is a Moonstruck restaurant to celebrate my birthday. I'm finding that old dude that's just eating people's disgusting finger pizza dough into his mouth, and we can just laugh, and I will not ditch you for a date with the Predator at all. I'll just hang out with you all night because I love you.
That's good. Love that. I would love a Moonstruck pizza dough restaurant, and I would love if Cher was there. Cher, you listening? How are you? We'll be there. Show up for my birthday. Yes. And listeners, if you also would believe your friend, if you were a younger kid and your friend was a big person and you had a handshake, if you would just do radical acceptance, like we would, or I would, not Bridget apparently, only I would do that. And if you think that you gotta have, like, what's your song gonna be? What's your password? What's the code? What's the handshake? Like,
what is it?
What are you gonna have that's gonna prove your identity if something crazy happens? Because, like, there's a lot of movies, shit happens, all right? And if you think that Billy should have got a lot more credit for being, like, BFFFF.
A great friend.
Great friend, all that good stuff. If you think all that, you should write us a review.
Woo!
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out. Your request goes on a list, and we look at the list every now and then, and we will do it eventually. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
Give us money.
Woo!
Which will go to funding Katie's lifestyle in New York City as she figures out how to get back to Zoltar.
That's right.
You can give us merchandise so that we will know back in time who is and isn't our sister.
That's right.
Buy that.
And, if you recently became big, but you're a kid, you can get a bigger size on our website.
Hey, we all get big sometimes.
We got all sizes.
Girl?
So,
we're inclusive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So check all that out, listeners. And we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for Basic Instinct. Dun dun dun. I feel like there's gonna be some dun dun duns in this movie.
I'm apologizing now if it's ridiculous. Okay, but
we are gonna look at a vagina apparently. So.
Oh really? I thought
she opens her legs.
But doesn't she have underwear on?
I feel like probably not, because like why do people care if
1992?
she's got underwear?
Oh.
I don't think there's underwear. I think that's why it's like everybody always references this movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let's enjoy that, folks.
We'll see that. Okay.
All
okay.
right.
I love you.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswho'veseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.